Welcome to the show today. I am your host, Timmy Kick. Today we're going to discuss the ins and outs of addiction. Now, nothing is scripted, nothing's canned, I'm not an actor. I am you. I am exactly where you are right now at one time in my life. I'm here not to schmooze anything. I'm not here to fudge anything and say recovery is easy. It's not. It's so rewarding, but the ultimate decision has to be with you. There's some things that we're going to talk about today that make you uncomfortable. But again, the most important thing we're dealing with is your life. You only have one. Right now you're tripping up, you're making bad decisions. Maybe you're hearing it from people, maybe you're not. But the rewards are immense. And it's all about putting the proper things in your body so you have proper outcomes. Example, putting nutritional food in your body instead of drinking glasses of vodka, or smoking marijuana all the time, or too many pills, or whatever your situation may be. You're going to have radical adverse effects if you're not treating your body kindly. Your body can only function at its best if you're putting the best effort to put good stuff in it. Congratulations, you're alive. And later you'll realize how much meaning is in that statement right there. If you're able to watch this show and you're alive, you're one step ahead of the game. The next huge step you have to realize is you have a problem. There are two things in the addiction world that happen to you. One is your physical addiction, meaning you have to have a drink or a drug to function. You can't get on through life without it. And the other component is the mental obsession. And what happens when you get help, when you get treatment, both of those diminish and go away. It's very important to realize both of those. If you're drinking a lot every day and you're craving, you have the shakes, you can't go to work, you can't sleep during the night, you always have to have a drink. Could be a telltale sign. If you can't get out your door in the morning without smoking a joint or taking pills to calm down or whatever, anything that is a foreign object to your body is not helping you. I had someone tell me a long time ago, if you can't get through the day without a drink, you may be an alcoholic. It's a lot to be said for that when you do get sober and you realize that. Here's 5 points that I want you to think about. One, most importantly, whatever you're doing, stop. Stop. Secondly, you have to learn before you make any decision to breathe. You need oxygen to breathe. You need to take a deep breath. Calm yourself down. So stop, breathe. Third is yield. You need to yield and think about what your next move is going to be. Think about it. Take time to think about it. And then number 5, proceed with your decision making with caution. Let's take a moment to think about exactly the way in the addiction field your mindset is thinking. Picture yourself as a little person in a room with 2 control handles. Okay, you're inside your brain. You're right in here. Okay. Now, if you're in a room with people, you don't have to talk about how silly I'm acting right now, or you don't have to let on to anybody. You know, if you're one of these guys that has to always be cool, or one of these girls that has to always be Miss Popularity. I'm only talking to right in here. I want you to open your ears and just think about what I'm trying to say to you. You got a little person in this control right in here in your head. That person is in control of this whole body. You're like a tiny little person in a huge robot every day of your life. You're making the decisions for the rest of your body. Now, if you're confused all the time through the throes of addiction, alcoholism, whatever the case may be. Sleep deprivation can do the same thing. If you don't get any sleep, your body requires so much sleep. Your body requires so much nutrition. When you replace your decision making in your brain with drugs and booze instead of eating nutritional food, that's going to throw an adverse effect in your life. It's very important to learn that you have to replace the drug and the drink with nutrition. That's originally how your body and your brain was designed to function normally. So you're in there running these controls, okay? You're not going to make good decisions behind the controls. It's basically like getting behind the wheel of a car high or drunk. You're gonna get a ticket. You're gonna crash eventually. You're gonna hurt somebody. You're gonna hurt yourself. By replacing all of these issues with being abstinent, and there is a way we can help you do that, and get back to the basics. Remember back in a time in your life as a little kid when you were always happy, before you got involved in the throes of addiction. Remember when the littlest things made you smile, made you laugh, made you happy. Okay, it doesn't matter what age you are, we can get back to that point. A little bit of work and a lot of dedication, okay? Because everything that you do lies within you. It lies within you, yourself, and you, and nobody else. No one telling you, I have to get help. You gotta want help. Let's talk about who's driving the bus in your decision-making in your life. Little guy on the control, okay? You think about, how many jobs did I lose in my life? Or why can't I get a job? Your attitude in your life determines your altitude. You're flying a plane. If you've got a lousy attitude, here's a mountain. You're going into the mountain. If you have a great attitude, you got a great altitude, looking down and enjoying life, not struggling on the bottom, trying to get up in life. When you're under the throes of addiction or alcoholism, you're constantly battling everyone else to make them think you know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, okay? I remember, because I am an alcoholic and I am still in recovery after all these years, I used to get so mad at people to say, they don't understand me. They don't understand what I'm going through. Okay, I was a single parent. I was a single dad with 2 little kids. Nobody cares. When you go to work, nobody cares. They want you to do your job and do it well. They want you to show up on time. They want you to go home on time. They don't want to hear excuses. Nobody does. And as your kids are getting older, your kids don't want to see you flipping and floundering all the time. They want to see you doing well and be happy. I have a multitude of things that went on in my life to create the problems that I have. I have sleep apnea. I have a hard time sleeping at night. The smallest thing can wake me up. Used to drive me nuts. Okay, I would use that as an excuse. Do I really think I need to get help? Maybe I need someone that I don't know to talk with me and really listen to me and help me realize that I do need help. We'll get to that in a minute. The other thing to think about too is it me or isn't it me? When you're that little guy in the chair, you're making that decision. Is it me or isn't it me? Is this how I really feel? Is this the way I want to act out in this? Am I being rational? Am I making smart choices, smart decisions? The biggest thing that trips up people is peer pressure, outside influences. Do I fit in? Am I cool enough? Am I part of the group? How come I'm not going out Friday nights and meeting them at the same old bar, the same old place? They're depending on me. I'm the life of the party. How do you feel the next morning? Oh, if I had a dime for every time I woke up with a hangover. Sunlight hurt my eyes. I couldn't think straight. And let alone going to work, getting through Sunday and resting, and then having all of these craving issues and problems. I know with me, I always had a weight issue, and I would starve myself and drink instead, so I look good in my clothes. Am I chiming in with anybody on this? It was all about how people were viewing me all of the time. Okay? You don't have to put yourself through that anymore. You don't. Breaking the chain of selfishness. I know when I was in the throes of addiction, I was very selfish. Ironically, from the moment I woke up in the morning to the time I kicked off my shoes and went to bed at night, I knew exactly how my day was going to begin and how my day was going to end. When you're drinking as much as I did, you only think about the obsession of the addiction. I don't want to go through shakes today. I don't want to have migraines today. I knew how much I had to budget myself to get through that day. When you're completely sober, you're breaking the chains of addiction. Every day is a mystery until it becomes history. I know I sound like Dr. Seuss right now, but it is true. Every day you get up and you don't know how your day is going to go and you don't know how it's going to end, there is a level of excitement in living your free life. What to do to get help? 90% of the time when people are in the throes of addiction, people are in the throes of alcoholism, number one, I'm better than that. He's worse than me. She's worse than me. Always minimizing your level of dependency. You have to look at where you are. Don't compare yourself with everybody else or anybody else. This is about how you want to feel every day of your life. There's things you need to address in your life when it comes to getting help. One, most importantly, you have to admit you have a problem and you're willing to change that problem. Now, no one is going to influence you. No one is going to say to you, you need to do this for me. Don't get help to help your relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your mom and your dad or your neighbors or your friends at school or your classmates. You're doing these decisions strictly for your life. No one is going to hold your hand. Okay, you got yourself in this position. You put yourself in this chair right now. Now you got to figure out how to get out of this chair. You want to get back to your old happy self. There's nothing happier than being happy with yourself. Don't do this for someone else's benefit or you're being pressured into doing this. You need to do this strictly for yourself. The rewards, I'll tell you what the rewards are. The rewards are times 10 of what you ever imagine. If you have to give up your car to get rid of your car payments, if you have to give up your apartment for a while and get help, it's worth it times 10. I've done it. You need to only take care of you. When you go into a treatment facility, you're going to be fed. You're going to be taught every day. It's the greatest thing in the world. When I put myself in treatment, I always treated it as a college course. I did, but I do that with everything that I do. I didn't go back to college till I was 58 years old. I graduated with my degree when I was 60. I'm not afraid to reinvent myself. And you shouldn't be either. Don't feel, well, I'm in my 20s and I got to look cool. Any age you are is better than not having an age at all. If you don't do something about your problem, it could spiral. You could end your life. We don't want that. We want you to constantly think about getting back to where you want to be, not sitting where you are complacent and then slowly but surely running down and ruining your life. Remember, in life, there is no dress rehearsal. You only have one shot. You only have one life. And if you give up that opportunity, not only is it going to be bad for the outcome for you, but there's going to be so much sadness and disappointment in people that really, truly love you, people that care about you, people that want to believe in you and want to see you live a highly functional, successful, happy life. And the rewards are tremendous. Being sober, completely sober from addiction, I can't even put into words. It's the greatest feeling in the world. I realize when I decided to get help, there was a lot of things, I've been through it a couple times, that I was doing wrong. I had to realize that everyone in the room getting help is sick. Do not, and I can't emphasize this enough, do not go into rehab situations or help situations looking for a companion, looking for that girlfriend that's getting help just like you and you have something in common with, or that boyfriend. I've seen that happen. It always ends up in destruction. Believe it or not, after you get out of a treatment facility, you're not going to ever see these people again. Most of the time you will never encounter at the time where you're supposed to be getting help and keeping focused on you. Don't take the focus off of you and put it on somebody else to make yourself look better. You have to be selfish and vigilant with your life. You're there for only one reason, and that is to improve how you feel and how you think with your life. Recovery is precious. Recovery is something that you need to give 150% of every single day. You're not going into recovery to impress anybody. You're going into recovery to be the best that you can possibly be. You're going to meet all kinds of people. You're going to meet people that totally blow you away, that you look at highly or the other way. Just remember, who are you there for? You're there for only yourself. When I went to treatment several times, I learned an awful lot about myself, and I learned a few things from other people. You take a little bit, you give a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed my personal experience. If you're looking for more information, feel free to call this number. Just give it a try. It's your first big step.